Good evening. It's Dewey and I'm cooking single again. So I wanted to share this idea with you because we're in that season where we all get invited to things at the last minute. We're expected to bring something. We probably should bring something to eat, maybe to a family member's house or a friend's house, that kind of thing. So I knew earlier in the day that I was going to need to bake something. And I didn't want to do it totally from scratch. So I knew I needed to find a really cool mix, something that would be a little bit different and that I could handle in the kitchen. Because, I'm not like a top shelf or anything, but I do have some good ideas. And so I want to share this idea with you. And I want to tell you what I bought. So maybe you can try it too. I was in Target. Who knew? And they had all this food and everything. I haven't been to Target in I don't know how long. But anyway, so I'm thinking maybe not a cookie, but something like one of those square things like lemon squares or something like that would have been really cool to take. And then I found this product called Food Stirs. And you guys probably may already know about this, but I didn't. And this was new to me. So I thought I'd share it with you. Food Stirs. Hello, here you go. Take a look at that. This is the Blondie mix. Because blondes have more fun, right? Who knew? I'm hoping they do after they eat this. So here you go. It says that it's sustainable cane sugar and unbleached flour. Maybe it's cage-free too. Who knew? I don't know. But anyway, so this is like a Blondie mix. It's a Snickerdoodle, and I have fond memories of Snickerdoodles from a bakery in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm thinking, this is gonna work. And it has like zero, almost, I have all the ingredients at home. I don't have to buy any extra ingredients because it's all in a package. It comes in a package with like the mix. I have to add 1 egg, and the yolk of a second egg, which means I have to get fancy and separate the egg from the yolk from the yellow part from the clear part. The yellow part is the yolk. So if you're new to this, and you know what? I did that in my hand. There are fancy yolk separators and all this kind of stuff you can buy, but I simply use my hand and it works. And then it requires 6 tablespoons of butter melted, and then the butter has to cool. Mr. Dewey put it in the freezer for 5 minutes to cool it fast. Because you don't want the butter to be so hot that when it combines, when you whisk it with the egg, that it scrambles the egg. So you have to have your butter melted and then cooled. But of course, I fast forward that. So here you go. And the mix comes with a little brown sugar topping for your snickerdoodleness. And then I always have some spare brown sugar around because it may not be snickerdoodle enough for me. And so I'm not watching my sugar, but some of you may, so maybe you can stick to a moderate amount. And if it looks good with the packaged amount, then I'm not gonna add any. But I have to have a safety net of my own brown sugar around. So all you do, seriously, it is so easy, it's ridiculous. All you do is put these ingredients, you whisk the wet ingredients together, and then with a spoon, you stir the wet ingredients in with the dry ingredients in a mixing bowl. And here it is. I have stirred this together, and I am ready to put it in my 8-inch square, non-stick, lightly greased, because I'm paranoid, pan. And I'm gonna bake this at 325 for about 25 minutes. And all of a sudden, I'm gonna have a pan of Snickerdoodle squares. How great is that? I love it, I love it, I love it. And you know what? It just doesn't take a lot of time. So if you're cooking, and this will probably make about 8 squares. So when I go, I'm not trying to feed the entire group of people in the room because other people are bringing things. So they can fight over my Snickerdoodles if they want to. So I will show you the end product in just a few minutes. So we're back, and I'm gonna take these Snickerdoodles out of the oven, and I have cooked them at 325 for 25 minutes. And I did not need any of the extra brown sugar that I had on hand. The package that came with the mix was well enough. So the key to things that you buy in the package, you have to follow the directions. Those people have figured it out. Trust me on that. They figured out the ingredients. They know exactly what to tell you to do. There are a few little things like you whisk the wet ingredients and you stir in with a spoon the dry ingredients. They don't really tell you little things like that. And it's always good to have the right tools and the right pots and pans on hand. And I just so happen to have that 8-inch square baking pan. So I'm gonna make, here you go, the Snickerdoodles. They look so good. So I'm gonna let these cool, and I cooked them a little less. They said you could cook them anywhere from 24 to 28 minutes, and I cooked them for 25. So, because I want them to be a little chewy. If you want them to be a little more crunchy or more well done, then you would cook them for the full complement of time, listed on the package. But I want the Snickerdoodles. I remember the Snickerdoodles in this bakery in Cleveland being very chewy. So, and I love those things. So these are my Blondies. Who knew? Blondes have more fun, right? They're gonna have more fun after they eat my Snickerdoodle Blondies. Y'all have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed this little idea for a quick something to take to your relative's house or to a friend's house.